Have you ever felt someone walking just a step behind you, even though the street was empty? People across the world whisper about the same figure, a tall, faceless shadow, always a few feet away, appearing only after midnight. They call him the Shadow Man. And once he follows you, he never stops. It usually begins in the quietest moments of night. The streets are still, the air feels heavier, and even the crickets seem to fall silent. People report hearing faint footsteps behind them. Slow, steady, perfectly matching their pace. When they turn around, there is nothing. Maybe a flicker under a streetlight, maybe a shape at the corner of their eye, but nothing solid. That is when fear begins to settle in, because the Shadow Man never shows himself directly. He lets you feel him first. Witnesses describe him as impossibly tall, with limbs that stretch too long for a human. His body has no details, no face, no features, just a figure darker than the night itself. Some say his presence makes the air colder. Others hear faint whispers, like voices layered on top of each other, speaking in a language no one understands. One woman in Japan said she was walking home past midnight when she felt her phone vibrate in her pocket. She checked, but the screen was black. Then she noticed something horrifying. Her reflection in a nearby shop window was not alone. Behind her stood a towering shadow, completely still. When she turned, the street was empty, but her reflection still showed him, closer. Stories like hers are the same across different countries. In Mexico, he is said to follow travelers on empty highways. In Eastern Europe, children claim to see him standing at the end of their beds. In the United States, night shift workers swear they feel him pacing behind them on deserted streets. The most disturbing part is that he does not always disappear when the sun rises. Victims say, once you have been chosen, the Shadow Man lingers. You catch him in reflections, in doorways, in the edges of photographs. You start losing sleep, too afraid to close your eyes, because you know he will be there, waiting. Some victims report hearing 3 knocks on their door at exactly 3:03 a.m. If they ignore it, the knocks return the next night, louder. If they open the door, they see nothing but darkness. But later, they notice wet, soot-like footprints leading inside their home. Others describe their clocks stopping at midnight, no matter how many times they change the batteries. One man claimed his shadow stopped moving with him. It froze on the wall, standing perfectly still, until another, taller shadow stretched up beside it. One of the most terrifying cases comes from a man in London who tried to outsmart the Shadow Man every night for a week. He left his apartment before midnight, driving to different parts of the city. Yet no matter where he went, he saw the same figure under the streetlights, always the same distance away. On the 7th night, he set up a camera in his car. When he watched the footage, his blood ran cold. The video showed him driving, singing nervously to the radio, but in the reflection of his windshield, something was in the back seat. A tall, faceless shadow, leaning closer to him with every passing minute. The next morning, neighbors found his car parked in front of his apartment, engine still running, but the man was gone. Here is the most unsettling detail. In every story, witnesses describe the Shadow Man being just far enough away to never be clear. Always a few steps behind, always waiting. But recently, new reports have surfaced. People claim the figure is not behind them anymore. He is in front of them, watching, standing completely still, as if he is done following, and now he is waiting for you to come closer. So if you find yourself walking alone after midnight, and you hear those footsteps that never quite match your own, whatever you do, do not turn around, because the Shadow Man might not be behind you anymore. He might already be here, watching.